What up, thrashers? Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing today? It's a new day, and today's video is a song breakdown by um, Havok. This is "I Am the State." Awesome song in E flat tuning. So if you didn't know that, now you know that. I don't know, tune your guitar if you're going to be learning it. And this one includes the solo, at least to the best that I can do it. But I'm going to do this like the other one that I did for Verbal Razors, cutting in between. And again, I know these videos aren't exactly the utmost quality when it comes to teaching things. Well, drop a pick. I have no idea where that went. But I know, yeah, I'm not kind of the fret by fret, note by note guy when it comes to teaching stuff. At least, for free. And when it comes to like YouTube stuff, because I don't have somebody right in front of me, who I'm just looking at, watch do it, and then tell them what they're doing different or whatever, So you just have to rewind the video, watch what I do, and learn it the hard way, kind of like rewinding tape back in the day, but a little easier because you get a visual medium. Anyways, I'm going to try to go over both guitar players' parts, David Sanchez and Reese Scruggs, the best I can. And I think the first thing I should do, other than like we'll go over Reese's part instead of David's for the beginning of this tune. Here we go. So it's got this, that thing. And then there, sorry. So that, I was doing this with down picks and gallops. I'm going to pan down so you can see my hand a little bit here as well. So watch this. Starting on fret 2. And every time you change this, it's the exact same pattern, just changing the frets. All right? So it's the exact same like fingering and general shape. Those are the notes you're working with. Pointer finger note here on the low E. These two notes here on the A, and then this note here on the D. And I'm going to do the pattern very slow for you. Got that? It's a gallop to start, and then you're bouncing in between each note and then back in the low E. And I'm doing these with all downs, but I'm pretty sure Reese Live does it with ups. Do it however you like. If you have it, for example, if you're playing live, if this song is in the beginning of your set, maybe depending on your mindset, you'll do ups to save energy for later in the set, to not pump yourself out. Or if you want to come out the gate swinging and it's like the first song, down pick it. Do whatever you got to do, whatever your technique and speed allows you to do. So that's that same pattern, and you're just changing the frets where it happens, like so. And there's that bit. I just did that really slow. That's really simple. Mute, mute, open, right? Does that, and then it does one more. And then it goes up. Fret 5, then fret 3. I'm going to do the whole thing front to back. All right? I'm going to check what David Sanchez does behind this, and I'll be back very shortly. David is doing this between those. All right? So you're following this with these power chords. And then for the end with that, he does this. I'm pretty sure. 5, 1, open, 3. Power chords on the low E. And then the other riff, which I actually do think I know. Ah, it goes down there. Okay. So this one's kind of like a punky kind of thing where you need a weird rhythm. I'm going to do it up to speed at least the best I can. So that one, pretty cool riff. I'm going to do it slow, and I'm just going to ask you to watch my fingers and listen to the pitch changes. I think that's it. Ah, sorry, at the end it's... There, that's right. And then it does that for the pause. And then both guitars are doing that. And that riff's pretty simple. I'll do it a little slower. Just one more time before I look at the other one. You got that one? All right. Next one's coming to you soon. So after that, they go into the pre-chorus riff, which is basically the same thing as the intro bit. We know that with the... following behind it. Until they get up to here. And then they do this riff. So that's an awesome riff. With most riffs of this nature, I recommend you just get down chugging on an open string. If it's just like an open string and then the notes, like if I'm gonna do a video on probably Rattlehead and Avenge Me, and songs like that have the similar kind of concept but with tremolo picking. But I'm gonna explain this to you as follows. You want to get good at just chugging this string and then counting in your head 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E, the bars, right? Bang your head to it, yeah? Or tap your foot, probably. Be able to do both. I'm not so good at, like, doing it with my hand to, like, be demonstrative or something, or, like, clicking. Whatever. But you need to learn where the actual fretted notes are in between all of your picking. So that's the pattern. I shouldn't really have to slow this one down as long as you're constantly picking and you know when to throw those in there. Right? So those are for these fretted notes and then pull-offs. Again, this is on the A string and fret number 6. And then there's two different parts here. David is going and then back into the... While Reese is doing... And he's doing that, these notes here on the D string. And I think live, and sometimes what I like to do, is do a little bit of a flourish there with a trill, which I've talked about and shown in other videos, like the pentatonic techniques, the Dave Mustaine, all those other videos. Right? So I'm going to do David's version first, and then Reese's for one full playthrough of the riff so you can get it, okay? Here's David. So that first bit, and here's Reese. Right? Now there's a tail end to this riff, and I'm going to show you that right now, and both these guys do it, so it's not different between the two of them. I'm just going to plug it in at the end of doing David's version, I guess, and then break it down. Here's how it fits in. Okay. Now that's pretty simple. It's just that. Just these frets across these two string sets with low E chugs in between each of these slides, yeah? Now, a lot of you people might be tripped up by the way this riff works because of how it's laid out timing-wise. I want you to think about this. I want you to be tapping your foot, or I'm going to actually bang my head because I can't really like pan down and like see my foot tapping or my hand tapping or my fingers snapping because I need to play the riff. So just follow my head as like a click and watch how this goes. See that? So this last note here happens on the 1. So that's the downbeat of the next one instead of the pull-offy, you know? Again, I'm going to do it. Right? And up to speed, it's really cool. Right? Killer riff. I'm going to check out if there's any other ones before the riff that leads into the solo, and then what the riff is behind the solo, and you'll get to see what that is. So just give me a moment here. So we get into the halfway point of the song where they do the where Reese goes, not Reese, sorry, David goes, "I bring the downfall," and then you play this riff, which is awesome. Right, and it just repeats like that until Reese comes in with the solo. What is this riff? Well, I'm just going to do it slow, but in general, you're just alternating between picking on the low E power chord and then going to your tritone power chord here on the first fret of the A string. Right? And then they go into, so we're thinking kind of Phrygian, E Phrygian, or guess, with this tritone as well, whatever you want to see it as. Those are the two notes you're doing here. And the first time you do it, they're open, like that. And I'm doing this with up picks for these. But you can down pick them. As you saw there, the second time you do it, you mute this and then hit this open. Same notes as the other one, just first one's muted to make it a little more hard-hitting, right? Cool, so that's that. And then I'm going to quickly check the riff that goes on behind the solo, show you that, and I'll show you the solo. And it's a pretty fun one. I think I have it mostly correct. I'll do my best, and I'll probably pause in between each lick. Yeah, let's get it going. The riff behind the solo is a little bit of a jazzier version than this, the verse riff. Right, that one? So it goes kind of like... a little bit more kind of swingy, almost like a beach kind of tune. I'm going to do it slow. Ah. And then for the cool part of the solo where he does the sweep arpeggios, it's just doing... Oh, sorry. Right? Same as in the intro to follow the... Yeah? Okay, cool. So, here's the solo, and I know it opens with this like... which is a double stop here on these frets, on the G and the B. And it helps you give them that little hick bend, you know? Wow. And then I'm going to check what the rest of the solo is like before I try to go over it. So let me take a look. So he starts off with this. Ah, wait. Then he goes into this. And he has this, like, perfect pinch harmonic there. It's this pull-off idea. You're thinking, basically, in this pentatonic box. And you have all these notes at your disposal here for these. I think it's that, or maybe something of that nature. Probably go with... That's a safe bet for getting close. And I think the next lick, actually, I might know. Yeah, I think it's something like that. So you slide up here. And then he goes down this kind of like pattern here. These notes. That. After doing that. And he has like kind of like kind of like old blues lick. And I think he does more pull-offy stuff going down. I'm going to check what that is really quick. But no, you have this. Ah. Something like that. Or maybe he moves this down to there at a later point in it. Maybe there. Who knows? I'm going to check the rest of it out, though. Cool. All right. For the ending part of this one, you're doing this bend up. And you're going really quickly down. Kind of like that Alex Skolnick lick I showed in that lick package video. And you're going down the pentatonic after that, starting here. And at the end, you're closing it off. And again, just going down the pentatonic, not doing any of these in-between notes, I don't think. Pretty cool little lick. So from the top... You could do like a downward, or maybe a, whichever one. I'll do that part again. Really satisfying, not too difficult, because you only need to pick each note one time. You just do it all down picks, whatever. You don't need to worry too much about where you pick. And I'm going to check the other one after that. Let's see what that is. Remember this next bit. Now you're doing this thing where you kind of have the lower part of the pentatonic down here and then going up into it, kind of like Kirk Hammett. He does some stuff like that, whatever. But it's this pretty simple. You just follow. That pretty easy. And then this. And it's going down in threes, then moving down a half step. But all muted. Then after that, two bends up here. These frets. But bending up a whole step and then a step and a half. And then I'm going to check the final ending before we get into the big sweeps. A little bit before the sweeps after these bends is pretty easy. Again, you're at the G string. And you're going back to the B after that. That's pretty easy. You should be able to use your ears to find this one. And then we get into the big sweeps that follow the thing right here. So if you've never done a sweep arpeggio, I don't know, Lord help you, I guess, but I'm going to show you it very slowly. And he starts at the top and he goes to the bottom and back up 2 times per one before shifting them, following the half step, whole step thing here, but up here, okay? And then this last one, he kind of has to jump the gun to get back to the top. So I'm going to do these very slow. It's the same shape for each one. You're just changing where you're doing it. And he does it kind of quick, and it's very difficult to do them clean. I don't do them super well. Watch very closely. This wide stretch here. Down, pull off, or start with an up, doesn't matter. And you're sweeping all the way back and forth. I might do a video on sweeping later, but I assume if you want to tackle the solo, you think you're good enough to do this. So, right? Follow my fingers, watch them. That's the shape. Same shape of a half step. Back down. Or like maybe go do that last bit very quick to get here. I'm going to try to do it up to speed from the top. I'm not too great. I stumble on this last bit because you have to jump the gun. And he does this kind of like, you know, let it trail off at the end. Not easy. It's quite difficult. And then these next licks I do know as well. I don't think I need to cut for these. He does this sort of Paul Gilbert idea with the string skippy thing. Or, it's there. So how do you do this? Well, it's a string skippy thing, and I think the way that he does it, it's this shape, this kind of minor looking shape. I think he's down picking the first one and legatoing it, and then tripleting. Right? Right? And then going back up. And then shift it up. And again, you're doing the same thing where you're just following the whole, right? And then you go up again to these frets here. And at the end, you do this. And you go up to this fret here. I think that's 15. And bend up. So after that part, and then, you just got to get up to this kind of pitch, right? So I'm going to try to do the solo from the top. Oh, that last part's really hard. No. There we go. Kind of got a little better there. And those sweeps are not easy. I'm messy with the lower part, definitely. Because that's such a wide stretch. I'm not as good going up as I am going down. Probably doesn't do it that fast. Probably a little slower. All right. And if you look at him doing that live, in front of all those people. Reese messes up sometimes too, and it sounds a little sloppy and not exactly perfect. And after you've maybe had like a shot or two, or you just got the adrenaline flowing, or you're late into the set and your hands are cramped, I can't blame you. You know, that happens to the best of us. But just try your best to get it as best as you can. This shape, it's probably the hardest sweep shape out of all the inversions of the minor sweeps. And I think at the end when you get to the you do this one, you don't have to go all the way back down and then rush it. Maybe you could just go this far. Go only to the D string. And then go into this thing. You really just kind of got to rush it and do it until you're able to do it. And then I don't think any of the riffs at the end are different. They just go back into the thing. But yeah, that was my first lesson video with an actual like solo breakdown. And definitely not an easy solo to do. I think I'm going to do, again, similar stuff with maybe revisiting the Gamma Bomb tune that I covered and the Exodus Verbal Razors. That one's pretty difficult. Guitar's still not set up for it yet, sadly, because I'm lazy. But maybe I'll get around to it or bring it to the shop and have it done. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this lesson was useful. Again, I don't see anybody posting how to do any of these songs, so if nobody's going to do it, I'll be the guy, I guess. Best of luck, have fun, play thrash, do what you do, etc., etc., whatever, whatever.